Hello and welcome. My name is Danielle. I'll be your host today, and I'm an ambassador with Roddey Publishing House. I'd like to welcome a very special guest with us. Her name is Roddey. She is a client of Maya Versanilla, aka Maya the Shaman, and a contributing writer in the upcoming book Infinite Cosmic Records Sacred Doorways to Healing and Remembering, a book and healing by Maya Versanilla, also known as Maya the Shaman. Welcome. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you. And I'm really grateful that we have this opportunity to connect. And before we get into the interview, I actually want to share with everybody a little bit about Maya and Infinite Cosmic Records and kind of a little bit about what it is. For those that don't know, Maya the Shaman is the original creatrix of Infinite Cosmic Records, which is a healing method that stems from her Lemurian code healing. It's also original healing modality created by Maya, which is phenomenal. The book itself is being published by Roddey Publishing House, and Infinite Cosmic Records is more than just your typical healing method. It's actually an adventure into many lifetimes, very similar to kind of like a hybrid of past life regression and Akashic records, as some say. So if you're familiar with Dolores Cannon's work, you'll kind of know what I'm speaking about. But others like to call it shadow work, integrating your inner child work, any ancestral lineage type of clearing work. So there's a lot that could be cleared in a session, which makes it very deep and personal to the individual, of course. The interesting part about Infinite Cosmic Records is that one can step into a realm where they're able to go into a multi-dimensional reality. It's a plane of I want to say it's almost like a planet experience or possibly even a portal, depending on what other magical intention you set for yourself and what doorway wants to open. Uh, the universe pretty much assists you. Your spirit guides are there to show up and support you, and others also kind of reference it like a personal ayahuasca experience with a little bit of purging or some sort of side effect, but it's not necessarily without having to take any substance. So that's amazing. So it's a great treat to get into your records. I personally myself have done it as well, and it was very magical. I definitely would recommend it, and I really look forward to everyone hearing about your experience, Lori. So could you share with us what your experience was like with Maya the Shaman in your cosmic records?
Yeah, I really love how you just explained it though, because I never really put words to what I was experienced, and that was really profound. Actually, made me have some revelations myself. It for me, it really was magical, and I love what you said about portals and different dimensions because I actually did go through the portal. The way that Maya is amazing with her experience and her comfort level, I was so relaxed with her that it was just I believe that that's why I was able to travel as deeply and as comfortably as I could, as I did, because of her direction and her expertise. And yeah, my original um, intention with her was to get better communication with my higher self, and the doorways that opened up were really magical, and it was like almost like an ultimate reality of just beauty and grace, and it really unlocked some magical things.
Oh, I love that. I like that you brought up intention. What was your intention when you set out in the session?
It was for me to be able to have a better communication and a better focus and understanding with my higher self. I feel like my higher self has been guiding me this whole time, but I get just subtle whispers, and sometimes I guess I'm wanting a little bit more communication or a little bit more auditory or even clairvoyance. I don't really see much, so that was my intention to have more of that with my higher self, and I think it actually paid off.
Have you been able to be more tapped into other senses now?
think
I like,
so.
okay.
Yeah.
I like that because everyone is different in terms of being connected to their senses, and I, I like you, want to have a better connection that is a little bit more obvious. But I run on synchronicities and messages that are more intuitive hits or downloads, as people would call it. So I feel a lot of people can relate to that about your situation. Um, when you set the intention and went down and she walked you through your journey, did did you have like a visual experience at all going
You
towards
know,
the course?
it was funny at first because I'm not normally clairvoyant. So it was harder at first. She would ask me, what am I seeing? And I was feeling again. I'm more of a feeling, more of a knowing. I was feeling the energies, and then it was slowly starting to come into pictures. It wasn't completely vivid, but I was able enough to describe what I was seeing, and I think again through her way of just guiding me was able to help me maybe just get out of my head more and be able to just feel in and be able to see what was taking place, and the way I was able to describe it to her maybe through her prompting questions. I think that's what really helped me.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, she does a really good job at like guiding you through it. And I'm glad that you were able to feel, relaxed. And so you're able to kind of be a little bit more receptive, in my opinion, when you go from that perspective and mind, body, spirit, just like surrendering, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Yeah. So could you tell us a little bit about, the doorways and how many did you see or go through?
Yeah, I had three doorways, and the first one was actually quite interesting. It was like this yellow and green doorway. I was describing it to her, and it was again, it was more of the energies. I was feeling an energy, and it was the fairy realm energy that I was actually tapping into. And I was describing to her, I tape recorded my session, which I was really glad because I was able to then re-listen to it. And it's quite interesting how I was relaying it to her. I was freeing the fairy realm, like they were stuck underneath something like an inner world, and I was freeing them. That I was there. There's like this almost like this bin that I had to open up, and then the energies was able to come up and out. And I was saying, oh, I feel like they've been waiting for me to help them be freed. But in actuality, I was saying they, but I think it was me. Like I was freeing my own self because of this new earth energy. And that revelation came to me. And I was like, wow. Yeah. So I was freeing something of my own self, but using like the fairies as the reference in a sense.
That's so beautiful. I love that. It's such a metaphor too. And wow. What you said, it was a yellow green door? What was it made out of?
It was I think like a wood. It was arched, and it was wood, and it had some yellow and green on it. And then it like morphed. You know how like a dream almost, it like was the wood, and then it morphed into the yellow and green energy. And the message for the fairy realm was to lighten up. Like, and I was like, again, I was equating it to what they were needing and play. But realistically, I think it was for my own self to lighten up and to play, and for like all of humanity too, because we're so serious. And so it was just like it like once I was describing it to her and what the messages were coming through, I almost felt myself lightening up and the play coming through, and I love that. And I think that's part of, one of the things that I'm here for is to help others to remember we are here to play and to have fun and to lighten up and not be so serious.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I believe that it truly connects you to the creator when you're in that high frequency of, creativity, playful joy. I mean, those are all things that are very, what people would say, childlike, but we are children. We're children. You know, we're just, our bodies age, but our spirit, that's why you feel young when you're older, or, you know, I love it. It's playful. Okay, I'm going to take that message with me too. So, what other doorways did you go through?
So then the next one, let's see, it was almost like a crystalline city.
Ooh,
It was really interesting, and so she was asking me what time period, and I kept getting the land before time, the land before time, and I believe I have this ancientness in me, I'll just call it ancient, and it was so beautiful. Again, I'm not very visual, but I just saw like little flecks of like, and I kept getting Isis, and it was almost like these beautiful. I'm holding my Lemurian crystal, which is really funny, and so I kept getting like these ridges of a crystalline city with the peaks of like ice, and and then she was asking me, what do I feel like? Do I smell anything? Is the environment anything? And they kind of moved me to the left, and I started feeling like moisture, almost like a rainforest. And then all of a sudden, the energies came through, and it was so beautiful. The dolphins were, and again, which is really funny now that we're talking about this play, because dolphins know how to play. They have joy on their face. Their smiles are joy and laughter. And the dolphins came through really strongly for me. I resonate very much with that. And then it was the whales in the background. The whale was like like smacking its beautiful hand. I forget the word for it. And the whales said to me, and they wanted me to make sure to say this to Maya and to myself, that they were the original mother goddess energy, the whales, and that she asked me, what was my relation to them, and they said that was one of my first carnations was as a whale. And I literally, my heart like, oh, just fluttered, because I've been so connected to the whales for years and just recently got to see them in Hawaii. So that was even more magical.
That's so beautiful. I love how it ties into your past, present, and future in this lifetime, because it just goes to show you that as you unfold through your journey, you're you're learning, but it's like you're putting together this beautiful puzzle. And now it hits you home, so much deeper to have such a profound experience like that unfold, and to have that unfold through the infinite cosmic records is so magical, because this is an original healing modality by Maya. And truly, through hearing your testimony and knowing my experience, I really relate to what you're saying, very deeply, because it really hit home for me too, and it brought some like experience things that I've been experiencing that nobody would have known. And then we are our own guru. We're answering ourselves, but this as a catalyst to have a modality like this that we could, work together to come through. And I think that's so beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm
it
happy
is.
that you were able to connect with the wells. That's such a beautiful, pure, loving energy. Oh my gosh.
I know.
What
It's
was
magic.
it? Yeah, it is. What was your other door? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, no worries. The last door, I can't remember what it looks like now, but when I went through, oh, I remember I saw just a blue sky, and then all of a sudden the sky turned into the stars. And all of a sudden I was telling Maya, oh my God, I'm seeing the Milky Way. And
Oh,
I was like in the cosmos, and she said, okay, what do you like, what are you wearing? Or I think was her question. And I was like, she said something about look at your feet. And I was like, I am one. I don't have feet. I am the cosmos. And it was like, and she goes, you're merging. I said, I'm merging. Like I almost went back to the source. And that's how we ended it. And I was just like in that vibration of just the love consciousness. It was so magical. And like you said earlier, the way that Maya has created this, we're doing the work ourselves. She's there holding our hand, like metaphorically, walking us through it, but we're the ones experiencing it. And I thought that was phenomenal to end
that's
the doorway.
amazing. Oh my gosh, you probably felt so much love and joy in your heart. Whew.
Much. I feel it just talking about it. I just feel it again. And then it was funny, like when she had me end and get back, I was doing cartwheels on earth. Like after I was just like such a little kid again, with such joy and such playfulness, energy in me. And cartwheels were something I used to do as a kid. So it was just like came full circle.
Yeah, and it's interesting. How was it for you when she was guiding you? Because I almost feel like she can read my like. Maybe it's because I am in tune, but it almost feels like she has this beautiful way of just guiding you. But it's like she's with you at the same time. It's almost like. How did that feel for you? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, she just has this very natural talent of um, really guiding you, but also allowing you to be open. So you know what I mean? Like she's not telling you what you're seeing. It's almost like she intuitively is walking you, but letting you speak. How was that for you as she guided you?
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, her prompting, her questions, the way she prompts
Hmm.
is, I think that's where her wisdom shines through. It's wrapped with her intuitiveness to know how to lead us in a way that we are uncovering what needs to be uncovered, but we kind of needed that guidance. I would just say it like that, her
Yeah,
guidance.
yeah, I absolutely agree. So when you worked with Maya as a client and now as a contributing writer in the book, how was it being on the other side, working with Broad Publishing House and having the opportunity to share your voice and testimony?
I was so honored to be asked to write about my story and contribute. And I think their Roddey's Publishing House, the whole collaboration and cooperation, this is where this new energy is going. So I mean, I was so honored to be a part of a collaborative book. I mean, I've done collaborative workshops and I want to down the line do collaborative retreats. So this was just like personally for me, I couldn't ask for a better book publishing company to be a part of.
That's beautiful. Thank you. And as far as the Infinite Cosmic Records with Maya, would you recommend this to friends, family, or anyone in general?
Absolutely. All seekers who are looking to find out more of who they are and their higher self.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I highly recommend working with Maya. I'm so blessed and so grateful that I was led to her. And absolutely, she has my stamp of approval all over.
Well, that's beautiful of you to say, and I couldn't agree with you more. And Lori, you are such a beautiful spirit. I want to thank you so much for sharing your, wisdom and knowledge of your doorways and bringing so much love and joy into this world. You're just an absolute gem, and I just want to thank you for your time today. And
Mm.
everyone, please do check out Infinite Cosmic Records and read Lori's chapter. It'll be amazing. We'll be sure to link all the information down below on how you could reach Rada Publishing House, Maya the Shaman, Lori, the book. We'll get it all there for you guys. So if you would like, you can also email me and I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. But otherwise, thank you again, Lori. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much.